Have you ever wanted to terrorize a whole town built around a gas station? Destroy anything not glued down and concuss the whole population. Well, now you can with no repercussions. I've wasted my whole week and I'm free for a discussion. I get off on head, but it never killing. But I cause the train to go off the tracks, and I'm the villain, fucking you up from all the way across town, making people cry on the street by running them down. We all fly together, holding on by the tongue. One of these days, that hang glider will get some. Coffee stain down the drain, and we can't forget the unwinnable game. Sparkly mushrooms, yummy in my tummy, and a tube that makes you grow and shrink. A fighting ring, of course there's a crowd, a satanic sacrifice up on the hill. Ghost demon with telepowers comes out of nowhere, and he's gonna fuck you up. Giant boulder, no more donuts for you, sir. Treadmill too fast, it'll throw you for a loop. Who needs roller skates when you have anti-gravity boots? Spider-Man wrecking him, swinging from a crane. The guy I threw off the top that building was never seen again. A grill set me on fire, but not for long. I threw a lady in a harvester, fucking you up from all the way across town, making people cry on the street by running them down. We all fly together, holding on by the tongue. One of these days, that hang glider will get some, fucking you up from all the way across town, making people cry on the street by running them down. We all fly together, holding on by the tongue. One of these days, that hang glider will get some.
Bird crap. Bird crap. Bird crap. To hijack its brain. Bird crap. Crawls out of its butthole. Bird crap. To hijack its brain. Bird crap. Puts on a laser show. To hijack its brain. Bird crap. Puts on a laser show. To hijack its brain. Out of its butthole. To commit suicide. Bird crap. Bird crap. To eat bird poop. Bird crap. Bastard or tap. There's this protozoa. Crawls out of its butthole. Bird crap. Butthole worm. Bird crap. Butthole worm. Bird crap. Butthole worm. Bird crap. Butthole worm. Bastard green banded fruit sack larva. Bastard green banded fruit sack larva. Bastard. To eat bird poop. Bird crap. Butthole worm. To commit suicide. Bastard. Bird crap. Butthole worm. Bird crap. Bird crap.
I think I'm there. I think I'm there. Okay. Testing for latency. 1, 2, 3. That's not too bad at all. Not too bad at all. Not too bad. Bird crap. Bird crap. Well, there's this butthole worm. Crawls out of its butthole to commit suicide. Where the fuck am I? Oh my god. Let's just fucking let's do this thing. Let's go studio mode. We're gonna hit the workflow. Giant delicious maggot crawls out of its butthole. Bird crap. Butthole worm. Bird crap. Well, howdy folks, welcome back to another workflow stream right here on Country Fried Minis. I am your host, Cameron T. Minis, the country boy in the big city, farting into paper tubes and shouting at the neighbors. None of that is accurate. None of that is even like remotely accurate. Anyhow, yesterday, I may have passed out trying to watch the Dick stream and ended up sleeping till like middernacht. And I have been up since midnight, so I'm gonna do my damnedest to keep this stream less than low energy, or better than low energy. We're gonna at least get some voiceover work done. We may cut some clips down. We're just gonna get an honest work evening. For those of you who don't know, if you caught this via the algorithm after the fact, these are the workflow streams right here on Country Fried Minis, where we do the editing. It is a place where you can see behind the curtain, get an idea of what goes into video editing, a place where you can influence the script and the dumbass jokes that we pack into these silly videos right here on the YouTubes. I see that, Slink. That's insane. That's so many. That's so many. It's like an additional 10 billion you've gone up. That's crazy. That's so crazy. I gotta tell you, Slink, I am. It has crossed my mind more than once to just fully reset the biscuit coin economy. What do we want here? What do we want here? What do we want here? I think we want this right here.
Keep that backside be free and enjoy the rest of your ride.
No. All right, let's recap where we're at. So, well, let's start out by issuing kind of the same statement from the post. So, we are working on the Big Black Knight video. We are working diligently. It is obsessive, but it is also going slow. Going very slow. We're well behind schedule. This was meant to come out today, actually. Originally Christmas, then New Year's, then today. Obviously it's not working. So we will get this done when we get it done. I hate to lose the traction from the algorithm after the text video dropped, but the problem is I gotta make money. Y'all. I got bills to pay, and I have a bunch of commissions that gotta go out this week. So Monday we're gonna be back to painting. And we're going to continue working on the Big Black Knight through the month. I think we're aiming to do a kind of a monthly video thing. I know I've talked about a 2-week or 3-week window. Realistically, I'm not going to be able to make that happen. I've got too many models. My bills are too high. I got to paint too many models to get that out. So what we're aiming for is a monthly drop, and we're going to do the end of month video. So shorts every day, long form, end of the month, lots of streams coming in. Slink says, "Hey, Country Fried Minis, I just got the Locust Labs Panther off of my mini factory." Yeah, it's a fucking awesome model. I need to do one up myself. I was actually just putting together a list of mechs to send out. I want to do a whole nother set of Pleiades Lancers with Locust Labs Sprints. You hate the Panther you made? No. Look at this boy. Look at this boy. Where is this boy? How are you gonna hate on the Panther? So, all right. There's this thing that's happening with your designs for me that I find really interesting. I kind of hated the I kind of hated the Centurion and the Vindicator, and then I printed them both out and painted them, and they have really grown on me as jobbers, and I think you've made them look like jobbers in a really good way. Where's that damn panther? Where's that damn panther? I like him stature. Not shapely enough. I definitely redo the entire torso. I think you're being too perfectionist with it. I think it works splendidly. Yeah, look, indeed, Slink. Maybe my Panther's that. I don't think it's bad at all. I like the greebling, your layered greebling here. The double layer on the chesticles. Yeah, it looks like a jobber. And I think that's a really good quality in a jobber mech. Alright, you got me sold, Locust. I am going to, I need to paint, what's his face? Who's the Pink Panther? Who was the Panther? Ace Darwin. The Battlemaster? That's the one you hate the most? Battlemaster looks like the Battlemaster. That's really what I got to say about it. It looks like the Battlemaster. Where's it at? It's so close to the Catalyst one. I think you maybe are missing a little something by having the head so sunken into the chest. Like if it was popped up a little bit more like the, what's the Dougrim design? The Bigfoot. Show me pictures, is it big? Oh man. Speaking of big, let me grab this real quick and put this thing together. Check this disgusting monstrosity out. It's partially disassembled because it's still being painted right now, but this thing is absolutely fucking gargantuan. And so I didn't know about the Kong thing, but we got the Kong references on there. Ugh. Put Kong on his. There you go. This is coming along. Yeah, it's gonna be great. And I think we're gonna probably sell it at the end too. Tried to pick up some references off of the TTB video. Debating on having my dad print a really big one for me too. Square lasers initially threw you off. Isn't there a set of round lasers in there as well? Yeah, there's a round laser one. I actually just sent off some Battlemasters today. I had somebody who wanted. Who did the kit bash of the Thunderbolt on your Discord? I cannot remember. Sometime this year, I'm gonna get a new FDM, probably P2S Bamboo. Gonna do a big boy. Yeah, I think a big one is always worth doing. Power Man. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I had to send a disclaimer to the purchaser that like these are not official and do not have the nice the guarantee of the supports. All right, let's do a quick recap. Let's do a recap here of what we did yesterday. Let's see if this works. And then we're going to get stuck in doing a little voiceover work. Let's pause our workflow music playlist and hit go on this thing. Okay. Now that y'all have seen 100,000 Monty Python references, it stands to reason that we're So, like, is
setting
this
the scene
editing
for
the
a Monty
BLK
Python
video? How
Black
long are
Knight,
you looking for that to release?
BL9-KNT Black Knight, painted in the colors of the Monty Python Black Knight, complete with as many references
By the end
as
of the
could
month.
reasonably be stuck
By
in
the
it.
end of the
Whether
month.
talking about the Tis But a Scratch guy, or
It's
whether
bloated.
we're talking about all the fun little references from the various Black Knight
It
artworks
is
from the
hard
latest
bloated.
Black Pants Legion Black Knight video. Of course, we can't
So
set the
we're
scene
we're
without
probably looking
building
at like
the
a
scene,
full
and
hour
here we're
video.
taking a little
Yeah,
bit of
it's
fast
gotten real
mache
big.
that I picked up at the Attic Outlet thrift shop while I was back east visiting
So,
folks in my hometown.
I mean, that's
This
all I can do at
stuff's
this
kinda like
point
sculpt
is
the mold, but a little more
get it out when it
glue-centric,
gets
I
out.
think it. Not really sure, but it's
I gotta make
basically
money.
just broken
That's
down
the
paper pulp
bills
with a
are
binder in it,
crashing
so
down.
it's still fine to use.
So I gotta
despite
paint
having
hella
been
mix.
sitting in an 18-gallon Rubbermaid tote container over in deep storage for 1,094 years. We'll build this stuff up about half a finger breadth deep and sprinkle in some cork bits and Gale Force 9 fine turf ballast stuffs before mixing up a concoction of PVA glue, nearly pure IPA, and lots of water, which will then dribble all about the setting with a happy little pipette. Unfortunately, though this mixture gets deep in the mush to lock in that terrain in a permanent fashion, it also adds a ton of moisture to our mix,
I do
which
love this
threatens to
song.
increase the drying time to damn near forever. For that, we ended up having to blast that fucker with a hairdryer while doing other tasks just to get the quote-unquote fast mache to set up hard in a reasonable amount of time. Meanwhile, while that base dries out, we've got a problem to address with the print of this here gigantic mini. Don't know if you noticed exactly
7 minutes 54 seconds
ago, but there was a misprint which we'll need to correct. So I've printed out some replacement parts for us to rebuild this man better, faster, stronger. Wait, wrong franchise. To the Mega Mech Lab.
All right, this is where we're at. So that gets us caught up. I've got music cut down here. I'll play a little bit. I got music cut down here. We got this whole scene of the Dremel coming out. I had a really bad misprint and ended up having to replace a part here. And it definitely slows the pacing of the movie down, but it was like, it's important to the telling of the tale. So we're sticking it in there. Oh yeah. Yeah, it was god awful. But we made it work. Ended up having to do like sawing that whole end off and replacing it. And then, cause it was like 30 fucking hours to print that arm. And then it was just fucked up on the one end. The problem is, so at this point in the video, we're 16 minutes in and I haven't even started putting paint on the model in the video yet. Let's see. Plus, there was the whole, I don't know if you caught, but there was a power outage while I was working on the model, like when I was still on the time crunch, so I had to do a whole bunch of shit via candlelight. And that turned into its own thing, and then this has turned into a bunch of Monty Python references, of course. Oh, shit. I'll just, here, let me give you a little preview here. Let's just do a little preview. Let's do a little preview. Where is workflow playlist? Right there. And then we should be able to just hit go here.
Alrighty, folks, let's dive into this here project featuring another big-ass upscaled mech sculpted by Locust Labs.
We've gone up to a 1/48 scaling, which involves a 593.75% upsizing in the slice and software.
Video looks like it's going to be
Something that
fun.
really
Yeah,
exacerbates the
it's
heck out of my inaccurate dimensional accuracy,
It's a passion
necessitating
project.
a whole lot of sanding and Dremel work to get these parts to stick together. Fuck, you gotta be fucking kidding me right now. A blackout in this city? I wonder what could put...
Hello, we are contacting you about your HPG wireless service. We've noticed you haven't paid your bills in several cycles, and we're just here to remind you that no one can hear your screams on Luthia. Please pay your HPG bill on time and in full.
I'll run this up to
We
the
at Comstar value your
to the second I
C-bills.
start talking about
Please submit
the
your C-bills into the
painting
slot.
at night.
Unless
Oh
you're
yeah,
doing
check out this
wireless payment, please tap your
this
head.
asset right here is so fucking good.
Well, here we are in the dark. Good thing I have my trusty rechargeable headlamp and some emergency candles ready to go. I definitely paid my HPG bill despite the threats from our local Comstar rep. It must be a clerical error, or somebody forgot to say the proper litanies, given this timeline
make
is
mood
more
light.
and
Yeah,
more
exactly.
handed over to Blakeists, lunatics that they are.
What was that?
We can thank our local Comstar Knight for threatening me.
Mark a level 2 king crabs on your position.
Glory to Blake.
What was that? Speak up, or you'll get the crabs. I don't care if you're a camera.
All
Get the
hail
crabs.
the blessed founder, glory to Blake.
Much better. Have a nice day.
Anyhow, it's almost fitting that we're going to dig into this Black Knight project with the technology that
I don't
will
wanna
be
play the whole
available
thing,
to
but
the
we'll
Black
do
Knight
this
of
section right here,
Mark
yeah.
Fame, enjoying some quiet hobbying by candlelight. Well, he wouldn't have a headlamp, but that's besides
Oh
the
yeah,
point.
I got
He
my
also wouldn't
respirator.
have had a battery-powered Dremel to carve his
This guy-
stuff with. You know,
guy
instead
right here.
using like a boot knife or something. He definitely wouldn't have a 3D printer to print out giant models on the fly from his computer, which he wouldn't have, and there wouldn't be an electrical grid to power such a computer. He also wouldn't have a cell phone recording
Wouldn't have
the
had a cell
project in
phone, no.
4K footage either. But you know what I mean. Bullshit Corner 2.0.
All right, that's enough. But yeah, we did end up doing a whole lot of work by candlelight. We got the thanks patrons section, and we've got the basing, and now we're gonna do the fixing of the arm. It was a little serendipitous. It was crazy. It was like 120,000 people without power for like 6 hours at the key day of doing work. Anyhow, all right, so we need to cover telling the story of this arm, kind of half-ass talk about what's going on the screen, and sell the whole thing in, how long is this? So 1443 through 1607. So we've got to condense this tale into what? That's like a minute something. All right, and then I got the Notepad++. I got the Notepad++, so I'm not blasting y'all's eyes with white. All right, so okay, now that we're at the workbench, at the how do we word this? We're going for like now that we're at the workbench with power tools, we can take a cutting wheel to the badly mangled misprint that happened happened to happen right at the start of the print of this large lad's right arm. Since it was a 30+ hour print for this part, I really didn't. Did you say what printer he's using? I am using the Anycubic X6KS. I could put that in there, Stormcrow. Turbo Kitten time? What is Turbo Kitten? Hold on, let's see. All right, Mr. Nate. All right, Mr. Nate. Can you please explain what Turbo Kitten time is? But do it in fluent German. Let's see. Let's see what you have to say about Turbo Kitten time. All right. Since the 30-hour print, I really didn't want to do the whole thing again. Instead, opting to print out a replacement on my Photon Mono 4 while the Mono X6KS was cranking out layers on another part. Okay. See how goot my German is? It's taken ages to go through. It says it's in the queue. I wonder if the AI model is just overloaded. Redeem Mad Cat. All right, let's pop open Audacity.
Timberwolf?
I've been tagged somewhere.
Man, that's Glenn.
I have been tagged
cheating.
somewhere.
I don't want to lose my friends, man.
Ah, yes. I see what that is. Okay. Let's go ahead and toss in at Country Fried Minis. Oh, hey, Elegoo came out with ABS like water washable clear resins. Not sure if I told you all that. Told you that already or not. It's like 35 for 2,000 grams. Everybody hitting the AIs for Spank? Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Let's pop that up. All right, let's record this up and see where it puts us, and then we can decide on our next few lines. Now that we're at the workbench with our power tools, we can take a cutting wheel to the badly mangled misprint that happened tools?
And a double helping
Wait.
of gravy.
Happened tools? What happened there? I think the autofill feature of this Notepad++ messed me up.
Minis.
Here he goes.
All right, Mr. Nate, can you please explain what Turbo Kitten time is, but do it in fluent German?
Let's
Turbo
find
Kitten Zeit ist, wenn Kätzchen plötzlich von 0 auf 100
Kätzchen
drehen
plötzlich?
und wie verrückte Flummis durch die Gegend flitzen. In einem Moment liegen sie noch friedlich da. Im nächsten Moment scheinen sie von einer unsichtbaren Energiequelle angetrieben zu werden. Es ist eine Phase intensiver Aktivität, gefolgt von einem plötzlichen Absturz in den
Fucking
Ruhemodus.
ridiculous.
Katerwunder auf
Katerwunde auf Speed.
Test.
Jesus. I don't know why he's got to be so loud. I just think Mr. Attenborough is excitable. Okay, here we go. One more attempt.
Now that we're at the workbench with our power tools, we can take a cutting wheel to the badly mangled misprint that happened to happen right at the start of this print on this large lad's right arm. That is peeking really hard. That is peeking really fucking hard. Let's move the mic a bit further away. I gotta bring it down a little bit more. Now that we're at the work, I see it peaking still really hard. Maybe here. Now that we're at the workbench with power tools, we can take a cutting wheel to the badly mangled misprint that happened to happen right at the start of the print of this large lad's right arm. Okay, that looks a lot better. Since it was a 30+ hour print for this part, I really didn't want to do the whole thing again, instead opting to print out a replacement on my Photon Mono 4 while the Mono X 6KS was cranking out layers on another piece. Alright. And now we can take this here and we'll export this audio. Export this. This is just supposed to be a new one. Okay. So we'll call Black Knight Voiceover 4. Let's export that out. And we'll import that in. What folder am I in? Pow, pow, pow. Big Black Knight. Let's grab Black Knight Voiceover 4. And let's dump that in here. Ba-down. So I think we could start the audio about right there. And we're gonna stick it with a hard limiter first, because my voice tends to peak the speakers. It's all that high pitched, low T energy. All right, let's see where this puts us. Do I have the audio set to pick this up still? I think I do. Let's pause the music for a second. Pause the music. Let's run this. Zoop. For us to rebuild this man better, faster, stronger. Wait, wrong franchise. To the Mega Mech Lab. Now that we're at the workbench with power tools, we can take a cutting wheel to the badly mangled misprint that happened to happen right at the start of the print. I think we actually could maybe scooch that down about half a second and see if it's okay to start while the thing is moving. To the Mega Mech Lab. Now that we're at the workbench with power tools, we can take a cutting wheel to the badly mangled misprint that happened to happen right at the start of the print of this large lad's right arm. Since it was a 30+ hour print for this part, I really didn't want to do the whole thing again, instead opting to print out a replacement on my Photon Mono 4 while the Mono X 6KS was cranking out layers on another piece. Okay. Alright, that's fine. So that's already a substantial chunk of time, but we could say something like, what? Do something like, wow. Given that this model has some really nice surface detailing with clearly laid out panel lines, we'll just get in there
and cut it as close as we can manage to the defined, I already said, I didn't say defined, okay. Defined, is there another way to say, panel lines? We could say something like the defined separations. To the defined segmentations. I'm okay with that. Segmentationing. Before breaking apart, breaking
777777777.
the hollow.
I'm not reading that entire number. That's huge. Not again.
Wait, he just told you straight up no, Mr. Comstar. He just told you no. That's funny. Breaking the hollow form apart at a decided mating surface. All right, let's put that in there, see where it puts us. We don't have a lot of time to play with here, so it's just going to be like line, 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 export, toss it in, and see where it puts us. Given that this model has some really nice surface detailing with clearly laid out panel lines, we'll just get in there and cut it as close as we can manage to the defined segmentationing before breaking the hollow form apart at a decided mating surface.
Oh no 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 no! Oh no 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 no!
Oh no 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 no
no no no no no no no no no no no no no! Oh no 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 no! Oh no 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 no!
Oh no 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 no! Yes yes. Oh no 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 no! Indeed, indeed. All right. Did I just export this? I've lost my train of thought already. It looks like I did. Okay. Let's stretch that back out. Let's see where it ends us. Cranking out layers on another piece. Given that this model has some really nice surface detailing with clearly laid out panel lines, we'll just get in there and cut it as close as we can manage to the defined segmentation before breaking the hollow form apart at a decided mating surface.
@shrink_151 joins the Jelly Biscuits.
Thank you so much for the membership, Mr. Slink. Hell yeah. Thank you, thank you. I was thinking of doing some member-only content sometime soon. Maybe a super sexy Onilab scrub down or something. Okay. So, where's our line say? Before breaking it out of the decided mating surface. Okay. We'll say something like, with a combination of tools, including our handy Dremel. Oh, fuck.
@Consternite has been in the steak biscuits for 22 months. @Consternite celebrates 22 months of membership.
H. Holy shit. No, not rubbing me. Not rubbing me. Draw screen, it fun. Oh, PP. A PP. Yes. It costs 15 cents, and I get 80% of that. Thank you guys for the generous Tangia donos. I'm just gonna call this a device, and my trusty army painter files will get, if a mech has a fusion reactor in its chest and it has a girl's name, if the reactor blows up, does it make it a booby bomb? Is it called a booby trap in advanced tech or experimental tech? I think it is. I think it is a booby trap. Yeah, let's do 3145. Let's go unofficial. It should
Read
be
this fucking number 77777777777. Oh God, I'm not reading that entire number. That's huge.
That's huge. Oh. Yeah, there it is. There it is, Slink. It's a booby trap. It is a booby trap. Dude, the booby trap is so fucking broken. If you want to win your Battletech games, booby trap's where it's at. Here, let's pull up Pack Ops. Find booby trap. 297. 297. Booby trap. Here we go. One-shot device can be activated during a unit's weapon attack or physical attack phase, regardless of engine type. Once activated, a booby trap explodes immediately, destroying the booby trap unit completely. It's got a section about ejection systems here. Here we go. Damage inflicted is treated as area effect damage similar to artillery blast. Against all units in the same hex as the exploding unit, this damage is equal to the booby trap's unit engine rating. So, it does an insane amount of damage. It like a game-breaking amount of damage. It now says AI David instead of just reads your messages. Wait, did that get updated? AI David Attenborough reads your message.
Oh no, I'm a pussy. David Attenborough. I can't read a number over 10 to the 30th power because I'm a
Holy fuck, dude. No. Alright. How do I switch unit? Here we go. Let's do a combat vehicle, right? Do not save. We're gonna make 3145. Let's do unofficial, right? Unofficial. We're gonna do one. We'll do half a ton of armor, right? We'll make it, I don't know, we'll make it wheeled. 20 tons, probably fine. And let's boost our engine. Let's boost our engine really high. no turret. And then we'll slap a damn booby trap in there. Right? So we come in here, we're gonna add a booby trap. Bow. Booby trap. That's wrong. I did the wrong thing. There we go. Can you put a supercharger on a vehicle? Does that work?
Moist, 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 moist,
I don't think
moist,
you can.
moist, 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 moist.
Okay. All right. So, anyhow, so we put the booby trap in there, right? Unit validation passed, and all of a sudden you have this vehicle that moves 1117. Where is our engine rating? Here we go. Engine, it's got a 200 fusion, right? Okay, so you got this tank here. It costs 62 BV. This thing moves 17 hexes. If you win initiative, you zip that into the hex of your opponent. You detonate it for 200 damage that never misses. It completely breaks the game. Yeah, exactly. Putting a booby trap on a fusion engine turns it an external combustion engine. So the whole thing about these, the booby traps, is that when I first got into Battletech when I first got into tabletop Battletech in like circa 2019, 2020, I was playing this game with my brother, and we got like real into the customization right up until we discovered that. And it breaks the game so hard that we stopped playing with custom variants. Right back to stock. Okay. What are we saying? Absolutely ridiculous. All right, what were you saying? So we're taking our tools, we're getting the edges matching. We'll get those. Everyone gets into custom builds and hits a cheese wall and goes stock. Well, yeah, stock is where it's at. I dare say not only stock, but actually like trying to play historical is really where it's at. Getting a game master involved and playing scenarios that are historical. It's really awesome. Okay, so we're gonna say something like, with a combination of our tools, we want our parts edges. We'll get those 2 parts. How do I say connection point? I don't want to say mating edges again, but I want to say something like the mating edges. Interface. We'll get the interface of the 2 parts.
Gamble 10000000000. Oh God, I'm not reading that entire number. That's huge. Gamble, gamble, gamble not again. Gamble, gamble, gamble not again. Gamble, gamble, gamble not again. Gamble,
What the fuck? He don't like numbers. You know what? That might actually be a that might be an Easter egg. So there's a thing on the Tangia that recommends finding the Easter eggs. Okay, we'll get the interface of the 2 parts clean enough so that we can then reattach the lost detail and make it.
Comstar Knight asked me
In such a way that it's
well, ain't you just a broken record? Looks
it's
like someone
a
left a repeat
believable
button on sugar. How about
and
we mix
half
it up with some paint talk,
half-acidly
meow about Turbo
clean
Kittens
scene.
Instead, I'm all ears.
Turbo Kittens. I guess they got Turbo Kitten in there now. All right, let's toss this in here. What was our last line? Mating surface. With a combination of tools, including our handy Dremel 7300 cordless rotary device and my trusty armory painter. Again. Words is hard. My tongue is fat. With a combination of tools, including our handy Dremel 7300 cordless rotary device and my trusty Army Painter files, we'll get the interface of the two parts clean enough so that we can then reattach the lost detail in such a way that it's a believable and half-acidly clean scene. Dude, IRL, make sure you're not half-assing the cleaning of your scene. Alright. Voiceover 4 exists. Let's get that in there. That should update this immediately. Yep, it flashed. So we can drag this out. Okay. So now we got to cover 1539 through 1602. So we got 20 seconds to fill right here. We're going to say something like, we'll fill that crack with milliput. Fill that crack with milliput, then hit it one more time.
AI Country Fried, please give IRL Country Fried some advice on recording voice line with the buttery smoothness of his robo counterpart. Lick'em butt, orangutan, rocket ship, orangutan. Well, sugar, if IRL Country Fried wants to capture some of that buttery smoothness, they ought to sip on some warm tea with honey before starting to record. Keeping those vocal cords nice and hydrated is key. And maybe try standing up while recording. Helps the voice carry better. And remember, there's no such thing as traffic. Just let that voice flow like a spunk train on a roll. Now go on and get that silky sound.
What the fuck? Let it flow like a spunk train on a roll? That's disgusting. Also, we probably need to clip that for tonight's short. That's gross. Jesus, indeed. Holy shit. Where's that at? That's about an hour in, right? 54 minutes? I'm gonna make a note of that right now. Where's my pad? Short is CFMAI at about 54 minutes. 54 minutes in. Yeah, I'm definitely putting that one out of the short. Let's go in the stream highlight. Holy shit, Spunk Train came back. Been a while since we heard about that. Alright, so what were we saying? One last crack spackling of one last pass of crack spackling with milliput. And we'll have a solid construction which after drying will get that final I want to say something like about ripping a seam. Which after drying will get another attack from what would you call that bit? Is it a router bit? What do you call that bit? What do you call that bit? It wasn't a burr. It's the one with it's got like the cutting teeth on it. Yeah, let's look through here and see if we can see if these are named. This doesn't actually say. All right. Types of Dremel bits. What's this thing called? There, right here, this thing. No, it's not that one. It's got teeth. It's not the diamond grinder. It's this one right here. This guy. I don't know what you'd call this one. Come on. It's this one right here. What do you call that one? It's got teeth. These are burrs. There's no way that's still a burr. The whirly woo. You know what? That's exactly what it's called, Storm. From a conical whirly woo drill bit to reseam, to rescribe our panel seam. That's it. That's it. One last pass of crack spackling with milliput, and we'll have a solid construction which, after drying, we'll add another... Which, after drying, will another attack from a The grammar's not grammaring here. We'll have a solid construction which, after drying, will endure another attack, I suppose. Let's get all this out. Boom. Let's grab that. Bow. Endure. Another attack from a conical whirly. Oh my god. This thing has insertion overwrite. Okay, here we go. One last pass of crack spackling with milliput, and we'll have a solid construction which, after drying, will endure another attack from a conical whirly-woo drill bit to rescribe our panel seam. There we go. I blame our early morning wordage for your current disbrainfulness. Yeah, probably. The thing is, I didn't actually ever go to bed after that. I just stayed up. And that is indeed what's at fault here. Okay, Black Knight Voiceover 4. Blam, blam. Let's run that. This should update. Yep, there it goes. So there's a section here which I could use. All right, y'all. I need some kind of audio for this. What's happening here? Oh, you know what I mean? Something like that. I open invite. If any of y'all want to make a sex sound and send it to the Discord, we'll pack it in right there. This is your motivation. Boom. That's it. One more time. You see? Yes. If your sex noise doesn't end up in there, my sex noise will end up in there. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna drop a save state. Actually, we should probably watch this thing back for QC. Realistically, we should watch this back for QC. Pause. Pop this. Run
This here gigantic mini. Don't know if you noticed exactly
7 minutes 54 seconds
ago, but there was a misprint which we'll need to correct. So I've printed out some replacement parts for us to rebuild this man better, faster, stronger. Wait, wrong franchise. To the Mega Mech Lab. Now that we're at the workbench with power tools, we can take a cut.
Timing's really good on that when it comes in.
That happened to happen right at the start of the print of this large lad's right arm. Since it was a 30+ hour print for this part, I really didn't want to do the whole thing again, instead opting to print out a replacement on my Photon Mono 4 while the Mono X 6KS was cranking out layers on another piece. Given that this model has some really nice surface detailing with clearly laid out panel lines, we'll just get in there and cut it as close as we can manage to the defined segmentationing before breaking the hollow form apart at a decided mating surface. With a combination of tools including our handy Dremel 7300 cordless rotary device and my trusty Army Painter files, we'll get the interface of the two parts clean enough so that we can then reattach the lost detail in such a way that it's a believable and half-assedly clean seam. One last pass of crack spackling with milliput and we'll have a solid construction which, after drying, we'll add another...
What? What? Hold on a second. I didn't delete that segment from before. Okay, hold on. Hold on. I left that in there twice then. Yeah. Handle it. Jeez. This is gonna drastically alter the length of our clip here. We got room for one more line now. Alright, that should update and shrink this now. Yeah. Alright. Let's do that and then pop this back out. Let's re-QC that. re-QC the back end and see where it actually puts us.
In such a way that it's a believable and half-assedly clean scene.
Half-assedly
One
clean
last
scene.
pass of crack spackling with millet putt, and we'll have a solid construction which, after drying, will endure another attack from a conical whirly-woo drill bit to rescribe our panel scene.
I also just realized I lied. It was not the conical whirly-woo. As you can see, the conical whirly-woo lives right there on the desk. And I actually used the burr. I used the pointy burr. I think that's our next stage right here. Yep, that's our next section here. Okay. So we're gonna come in with the it's gonna say, I guess, is this a new track? No. This is old Ava Low. I guess I lied about the bit. I guess I lied about the bit. We're gonna. The thing is, all Dremel bits that aren't drills, cutting wheels, or actual router bits are burrs. Yeah, but it's not the conical whirly-woo. It's the pointy, sticky, pointy, skinny, skinny stick burr. The skinny stick burr. Here's, what do we call it? The conical whirly-woo? Yeah. Here's the conical conical, yes. Whirly-woo. Here's the conical whirly-woo. Cochineal, like the bugs. Here's the conical whirly-woo. Okay, so we'll save our whirly-woo image. Whirly-woo. 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 All right. And then how long do I hover on this? I do for a moment. Yeah, definitely long enough. Definitely long enough to get the thing done. Okay. Conical whirly-woo. Ooh, too big. Too big. Let's get in there. Way too big. I gotta do the actually. The way it's spelled properly. A-C-K-S-H-O-O-A-L-E-E. We actually, let's move this over. Boom, we actually used the this is gonna be called the skinny stabby, the skinny stabby burr. Yeah, skinny dash stabby, all one word. Skinny stabby. Stabby. Skinny stabby burr. Skinny stabby burr. Yeah. Burr. We gotta do it right. It's the burr. Skinny stabby burr. Right? That's no problem with that. I see no issue with this. We do need a little extra wiggle room with our letters here. So let's pull that out and move it over a little bit. Right there looks good. We'll deselect and we'll save this as stabby. No, skinny stabby. Yeah, skinny stabby. Okay, so this scene comes out as soon as the hand comes out of the way. As soon as the hand comes out of the way, we're gonna already have this thing on the map, and we'll rotoscope it in. Ooh, I love this track. What was it called? Whirly-woo? Whirly-woo. Maybe we won't rotoscope it. We'll just start it right here instead. Stick it right here, and then we'll do... There you go. Ooh, Mr. Nate did the thing. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Nate. Oh, yeah. Perfect. I gotta say, Mr. Nate, your I think you're I think you have leveled up your you've leveled up your audio work. All right, let's stick this in here real quick. Come on, that's so good though. I have no idea what was in there to make it foam up like that, but that's just so good. Duplicate and pan fun. Yep. All right. I'm about to. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. %90 says books are for nerds, you nerd. Do you guys actually think it's for nerds? Okay. So this thing's gonna come up from a conical whirly-woo drill bit to... All right, we'll let that run for a second, and then we'll put in the I'm a nerd and I freaking love book. Do you freaking love book like you love lamp? That I need to rotate this lad a little bit like that, and then we'll stick in love book more than lamp. That's a tough one because I love lamp. Actually, can we see if I turn to lamp? You probably can't make it out, but lamp has books. Just saying. Oh my god. I shouldn't have messed with that. What was the other one called? Skinny Stabby. Skinny Stabby. This has got to get moved here. And then we got to shift Skinny Stabby. Shift Skinny Stabby down here. I'm all about not burning my eyeballs out with Mom's billion-watt cool white light bulbs. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's fair. That is quite fair. Where's it at? We're actually at an hour. Now, I do want to point out that this is a bit of a record for old Country Fried Minis editing streams here. We have done... Where's my speed? Never mind. I'm wrong. I thought we did more than that. We've done a minute in an hour. I mean, that's about what it comes down to. So if you think about this video coming out, gonna be like 50 minutes long, right? So the actual time editing is probably about an hour to minute. So, you know, about 50 hours in the video itself, in the editing of the video. You know, let alone all the painting time and stuff. Okay, so what we need now is a drop shadow. We need some drop shadows. Boom. Let's get our drop shadow set up right. I think our drop shadow is going to be down and to the left. Like that. Full opacity. Maybe a distance of 7 and a softness of 3. And then we'll put the same drop shadow on this one. But I think we want to create some like artificial what's the word I'm looking for? Perspective here. So I'm going to rotate this one's shadow over here. And then I'm also going to make this look a little further away by bringing this distance in a little bit here. Like that. And then we've got... I think we're just going to flash these on the screen is what we're going to do here. Let's see what that looks like. Solid construction, which, after drying, will endure another attack from a conical whirly-woo drill bit to rescribe our panel scene. Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. There was something else I wanted to stick in here, too. There's a spot where I say the 2 printers I have, and I want a picture of each. Layers on another. Yeah, it's right there.
The Mono X6KS to print out a replacement on my Photon Mono 4.
Photon Mono 4. So let's find a Photon Mono 4. Anycubic Photon Mono 4. Images. See if we can find a nice, nice clipped background. It's not an Ultra though. It's this one. Sick. Oh, it's got that fucking drop shadow in the image. You know what? That's fine. That's fine. We can work with this. Pop a new image. Throw that in there. Let's hit this with that. And you know what? Who cares about the jank? Let's just run it. Lo-fi's so good, dude.
Photon Mono 4.
Photon Mono 4. And we're gonna have our Photon Mono 4 start. It's gonna start on down here. And it's gonna end right here. And it's gonna rotate. How far is it going to rotate? 4 times, maybe? Four times? Yeah, we'll do 4 times, exactly. And then we'll stick this right in the middle, and we'll bring this rotation up here to the top of the screen. And then this should say Photon Mono 4 and fling it across the screen.
And on my Photon Mono 4, while the Mono X6KS
Mono X6KS will start right there. And I should have an image of it already. Yeah, right here. And we'll do something similar, but we'll go the other way around this time. Pow, pow, pow. And this one will start down there. And same deal, going over here, and then we're gonna spin it the other way 4 times. There we go. And we'll stick a rise right in the middle. Zip. Like so. This one maybe actually needs to be a little smaller. Let's go 80% on that one. And actually, if we're gonna do that, this one should probably also be about 80%. Let's run it. 80%. Up, into the butt, stick a rise and spin. Hey, Harlock, let me show you this. I put your line in the spot. See how you feel about this. Gotta go all the way back to here, back to him, back to him. Where are we at? We're here. We're gonna mute the music. We're gonna pop this up full screen, and we're gonna hit go. So lights are out. We're working by candlelight. I'm doing the whole bit about talking about the fan fiction from Monty Python, and the lights are fading, or I blow out the candles and my voice is fading off.
The holy hand grenade is obviously a grenade that survived the ages, and over time has become...
Here, let me Yeah.
Hey you like the dark? Dicks in the dark for Dungeons and Dragons action. Check it out.
Get out here, Steve. Get. There's also a.
Happens very fast. Get out of here, Steve. Get. Explosion. But if you catch the music, I grabbed the music off your stream.
Dicks in the dark for Dungeons and Dragons action. Check it out.
Get out here, Steve. Get.
Yeah. Get out of here. How long is that? That's 7 full seconds. That is 7 uninterrupted seconds of dicks on dick action. Yeah, I could not do Mega Dungeon. Alright. What the hell were we doing? We're about to test this thing with the spinny bobs.
Replacement on my Photon Mono 4 while the Mono X 6KS was cranking.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay. I will hit you up and get you tossed in for something else. I was gonna use you for something. I can't remember what it was. Tossed like a salad? I had salad for lunch, actually. I just took a head of iceberg lettuce and chopped it up with pink lady apples and balsamic vinaigrette with salt and pepper. Tossed it in the container. Wow, so good. I love iceberg, though. It's good stuff. Okay, so resuming where we were at, we now need to fill the end of this.
Attack from a conical whirly-woo drill bit to rescribe
Whirly-woo
our panel
drill
scene.
bit to rescribe our panel scene. I'm having hot dogs and kraut and beans. Probably not a good idea, but whatever. That sounds awesome, though. I don't know. See, okay, the beans, you're gonna get the fiber from the beans, and then you're gonna get the, like, digestive of the sauerkraut. And then the, I don't know, I think the bonus collagen and, like, offcuts and stuff is really good stuff. Chili crisp? What are you talking about, chili crisp? I don't understand. I don't understand. What are we saying here? We're gonna say something like, chili crisp? Yeah, I agree. Are you eating pickled or lacto fermented sauerkraut? We need to say something about priming here. So it's gonna be like part with our 6. What's the actual cost? What's the actual cost on a Black Knight? Oh, I know where you get that. I'm gonna have to go in here to do it, I think. I don't think Black Knight. I don't think Sarna lists the costs. Yeah, it's sad. They don't list the costs on the damn thing. Snowfloss? Snowfloss. Add a whole nother texture chewability. I see. So we want our BL9 KNT. I think that's the one, right? Hatchet. It cost 15 million. $15 million C-bill mech. It don't really roll off the tongue, does it? Damn. I was hoping to make the $6 million man reference again. I could just do it. With our $6 million mech reassembled, almost as good as new. We'll just squirt a whole bunch of Steinel Res primer all over his thick ass bits. 6 mil sounds cheap for a whole mech. Yeah, it's 15 million C-bills. It's actually not cheap. This one's quite expensive. We did do this though. You might get a kick out of this. The $6 million mech. And you see they've got the quaff on the top. Yes. That's a third 25 billion tonight. Yeah, you've gone up.
It's that woo woo. You know what I'm saying? Some neighbors are
you're
saying
overall
way too loud.
up
That's
30 billion.
He supposed to be up cooking
I see the
breakfast
number.
or somebody,
I
so
see the number.
That's like an alarm clock. Woo woo.
I see the number. Also, B. What the fuck am I doing? I'm telling you, I've lost the plot here.
Techmore TN asked me, how do those cat girls on Canopus make the cash to get those mechs all fixed up? Well, Sugar, those Canopian cat girls sure know how to keep things purring and rolling. They blend a little bit of charm with their knack for fixing things up real nice. They probably run all sorts of savvy ventures, from entertaining shows to maybe even lending a hand in merc work. There's always a way to turn a stray credit or two into a well-oiled machine when you're a clever kitty. Never underestimate the power of a well-timed wink and a little elbow grease.
It's disgusting. What? Why does Country Fried Cameron get so filthy for you specifically, Tech? At Country Fried Minis, so is this the model that Locust Labs made for the text video? Yes it is. I did fuck up one part of it. It does not have the big shoulder pad on the right side. Brink, I hear a Tangia. Yes. Very good. Did you see, did you happen to see, Nathan, that I used your likeness in a recent short? Here, I'll open this up real quick so you can see. Is this the one? Yeah. Here it is. So, talking about the basing, we get the mechs walk across the bottom. The hot dog comes out. We do the hot dog. We do the bobbit worm. The overly verbose one? No. Here, I'll play it. It happens really fast right here. All right.
Thanks to the breakdown of the surface tension. It's even great.
You're in the goo. Here, I'll do it one more time.
Application of this ISO-laden mixture will make sure that it spreads where it needs to with a minimum of pooling thanks to the breakdown of the surface tension. It's
I sucked you, yeah. There's so much animation for that. See, your stream is doing the thing, the username instead of display name. Mine's not that different, but it's confusing when it is. Yeah. You know what I got to say about it? I only got one thing to say about it. There we go. I'm waiting.
I do.
There it is. You got it, mister. You got it.
Bye, everyone. She can go on forever.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Making Fatty crawl on the ground here. Maybe they added a new toggle and never told anybody? That's a good question. Oof. That set of push-ups activated my my yawn reflex. Okay, let's at least get this section done before, so I can actually wrap this up and get some rest. We'll just squirt a whole bunch of Stynylrez primer all over his thick ass bits so we can move on to the painting once we finish. All right. With our $6 million mech reassembled almost as good as new, N-O-E-W, new. No. With our $6 million mech reassembled almost as good as new, we'll just squirt a whole bunch of Stynylrez primer all over his thick ass bits so we can move on to the painting once we finish. That lines up. Embrace the cringe, y'all. Embrace the cringe. Oh, that runs a little long though. That runs too long. I'm gonna have to shorten that. With our $6 million mech reassembled almost as good as new, we'll just squirt a whole bunch of Stynylrez primer all over his thick ass bits so we can move on to the painting once we finish. that actually lines up okay. Okay, hold on. Clip the tip. Yeah, but here, let me try this again. Let me reduce the resolution. The problem is this thing is like 1700x speed, so it like lags up. But
Dude, we'll just squirt a whole bunch of Stynylrez primer all over his thick ass bits so we can move on to the painting once we finish.
it's almost there.
With our $6 million mech reassembled almost as good as new, we'll just squirt a whole bunch of Stynylrez primer all over his thick ass bits so we can move on to the painting once we
It does work pretty close, right? Like the bussin' noise with the squirt. And then, yeah, okay. All right, I'm satisfied with it. I don't know what else we could do for like gags inside this thing, because I think it is kind of like a serious segment. Yeah. All right. So, update where we're at. We have 16 minutes worth of this video cut down, clipped up, set to music. Where it lives now, or where it's sitting at now, is, what was the name of this clip? Once we, damn it. 184614. That's gonna give us. Where is 184614? So that puts us right here. That puts us right here. We've already used this one. From there, I've got this whole bit about the the putty that I'm really not 100% sure if I'm gonna incorporate and use or not. It's really creating a lot of project bloat. I did film the whole thing though, of putting this in there. So next thing, we're gonna deliberate on whether or not we're gonna cut that down and put it in, and then what are we doing here? Oh yeah, at some point I added more battle damage. Added some more battle damage. Oh, the sound effects on that are really good though. That actually might just be the short. How long is this clip? 3 minutes. I may launch this as just as the short straight up. Yeah, okay. So I don't know if we're gonna use all that stuff. If we get through all the camo putty, so like we put the putty on, we sprayed it, we removed the putty. You get these nice peels with the silver underneath. Some struggling with it, and then I've got this whole segment about sponging. So I do a whole bunch of sponge work. So we'll cut all this down. The next segment is going to be a few minutes long of building that up. Then we go into, I think I'm all the way up through edge highlighting. Yeah, we do edge highlighting right here maybe? We do edge highlighting, we do dry brushing, we do ink washing. Yeah. Okay. So, realistically, what we're looking at is probably by this time next week, we'll have the thing at least this much cut down. I do have I've got a whole bunch of freehand stuff that I've done on it. None of that's filmed, but I do want to film a section about freehanding. I think we're gonna do the Black Beast of Og. This right here. Yeah. So I think the intention is to paint this on his shoulder. And that'll be like probably that's probably going to be a 5-minute section. So we got to keep that in mind while we're putting this thing together. I think we're going to probably end up with about a 50-minute runtime on this thing. We got the whole Nathan's thing to do. I no idea when it's coming out at this point. It'll be before the end of the month though. That's what we're aiming for. But that said, I'm hella tired. I'm starting to crash out. I've been up for a long time. So a huge thanks to y'all for stopping through and checking out what's going on here. I'm not gonna do Scale Model Sunday tomorrow. I'm not ready for it yet, but in 2 weeks time we're gonna resume Scale Model Sunday. We're gonna come back to that. We're gonna finish the BTR. Monday I'm gonna be starting on a project on Fiverr. Let me, I could show you guys a teaser of that. Let me get this image without doxing my client, and I'll show you guys. I got a really fun, this is going to be a really fun project. So we're diving back in Monday, 6 p.m. We're going to be painting on this thing. I need to go to the message history. Yeah, here we go. I think you guys will like this. The client, this is the first time I've had a client do like a full mock-up of the artwork. So let's go back to workflow. So the client reached out. They originally wanted the dragon, just the dragon. And I ended up explaining to them, hit you up about cards. Yes, we will get on that soon, Mr. Harlock. I haven't opened them up yet, so we will get to them. So the client hit me up about this dragon. I explained that buying individual Catalyst minis is quite expensive, so I talked him into doing a full upsell to the whole box. So we're doing, I guess this is quasi, what's it called? Sword of Light? Not Sword of Light. The other one. So dragon with the dragon, and then Thug with the dragon. Both of these have bamboo, and then we're doing the Cyclops with waves, and the rising sun, and then we'll do the this is going to be really fun here. The spider has a dragon with derpy eyes and a fucking cup of coffee. how big is a Battletech mech? They're like, I think the Atlas, like the big 100-tonner's 13 meters. Okay, fire. Yeah, so gonna be fun. We're gonna film that. We're gonna talk about mold line removal, get those done. I have 4 commissions that have to be out the door by the 14th. And that is in addition to needing to make some money. So I hate that the Black Knight is delayed, but that's where we're at. Anyhow, this has been fun. Expect more streams. I think we're gonna settle into streams every day, or not streams every day, shorts every day. Shorts every day, at least 1 stream a week, probably 2 or 3, and we're aiming to get 12 videos out this year. 12 videos, 2026, bare fucking minimum. 12 videos right here on Country Fried Minis. Give back to y'all for the support that you give this place. So, that's all I got. Lots of love. Catch y'all soon. Join the Discord if you're not there. If you catch this via the algorithm after the fact and you have watched this stream, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, cheeseburger surprise. Instructions unclear. I just smashed my thumb with a hammer. Grandpa's hammer. You know, I see that went through. I don't have it tied to the PopCat screen for some reason. So, I'll tell you what. I see 2 of them in there. I'm going to do both of them. I'm going to blast out 20 right meow. Thank you, guys. Good night.